Today we're going to talk about a new product that's residing on Basecamp Patio, and it's sort of outside of our normal genre, but I think it's something that is going to be really interesting. And this is the kicker: there is a great sale on right now where you pay more for the grill than you would pay if you just bought it. Now, you know that we love to cook outdoors, and normally our outdoors cooking is done in a Dutch oven or over a campfire. But as you've also seen when we've done our base camp videos, we do like our grills, and our choice has always been charcoal. But I must confess that I have, over time, developed a bit of a desire, I guess if you would call it, to try a pellet grill. We've had lots of barbecue at parties, and I've always found the barbecue to be good. Now, it's not going to put Franklin barbecue out of business, but it's always been very tasty. And one of the big draws for me has always been the fact that if you've got something going on, but you want to do a brisket or you want to do a pork butt and make it easier to do that while you're doing other things, a pellet grill makes perfect sense. You can grill long cooks without having to tend it. Well, it just so happens that recently a company reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to test one of their grills. And I sat on that for quite a while, trying to debate if that would be something that we would want to do on the channel. And number two, I don't know a good pellet grill from a bad pellet grill. Of course, I always know the names of the big names. You know, you've got Traeger, you've got Pit Boss. But beyond that, I didn't know much about them. Well, I started doing some research into pellet grills and this company, and they tended to get very good reviews, sort of in the budget price range of the market. So let me show you what we have here. It's the newest addition to Basecamp Patio, and I think it's going to get a ton of use. So make sure you stick around till the end of this video to see what this more expensive sale is. But in the meantime, let's take a look at what this grill is. This is our new Z-Grills Smoke Beast Pellet Smoker, also known as the 10502B Wi-Fi version. Now, I'm no pellet grill whisperer, but having done some background check on this company before we agreed to do a video, is that this company has been around for 30 years. So it's not a new company. And they've been sort of a contract manufacturer for a number of the big name pellet grill companies as they've built their reputation. So if you can think of Traeger, for example, these guys were building those grills for Traeger, or at least they were one of the people building those grills. In 2016, they decided that they were going to start their own grill company. They were going to do their own brand, which was Z-Grills, and that grill was going to have a slightly different business model. These are a direct-to-consumer grill where they will sell directly to the consumer, so they're not having to pay the markup. They're solid, well-built, high-tech, if you will call them that, grills, but they don't have a lot of bling. They're not the fanciest grills out there. They don't have every feature you can imagine. But if you're just looking for something that's going to get the job done, that's what they're building for. So the first thing, a few features on this particular grill. It has a 21-pound hopper, which means that you can do, on the smoke mode, a 21-hour cook without having to reload the pellets. It does have a window, so you can see the volume of pellets in your grill without having to open the hopper lid. It has their latest PID controller for temperature, and that is important. If you think about it, a lot of the grills on the budget end of the spectrum have a normal digital controller. And those digital controllers are kind of like an old house thermostat, where if the temperature gets way too high, it shuts off. If it gets way too low, it kicks on, but you have this big wave of temperature fluctuations. A PID, on the other hand, is more like a smart thermostat. It's constantly reading the temperature inside the grill and adjusting itself so that you don't have big temperature swings. It keeps it more consistent. This grill also has two probe leads, and they include the probes themselves so that you can preset any doneness temperature and have that notify you on the app. And that's one of the nice things about this grill. It is the Wi-Fi version. which means it interfaces with Z-Grill's app, and you can control the smoker and monitor your cook from your smartphone while you're doing other chores around the house. And when you look at the metal that they build this grill out of, it's not 1/4-inch smoker steel. But what it is also not is that cheap, flimsy metal that you see in a lot of the big box smokers. This is a solid piece of metal. It's got a nicely moving hinge. You've got 1,080 square inches of cooking space in a vertical pattern. So if you're trying to cook something thick like a pork butt or brisket or a turkey, something like that, you're going to have to remove grates. It's not as big as a large smoker. But for ribs, that sort of thing, this is perfect if you want to do some vegetables. Just remember that what's on top is going to drip on what's below. This is kind of nice. It has a bucket and a grease drain. The tray inside of here angles down towards that grease trap and allows you to clean this out much better with the grease rolling down the hill and into your drain. You don't get as much grease accumulated. It's also at the bottom. It's got an ash trap where once you clean this out, all the ashes can go in there. You just remove that and dump the ashes, which is nice. Also, sometimes when you're doing different cooks, you want different smoke or different wood types for your pellets. And this makes it easy to change your pellets because in the back there's actually a little lever that you can pull, and it allows the pellets to come out the bottom of the hopper, and you can change your pellets that way. Just clear through the auger and you've got new pellets. And it's got a tray at the bottom, so you can set your pellets, you can set any of your tools, that sort of thing. It does have a handle on the side that you can use to pick it up and move it. And also when you're cooking, you can hang some tools on that. So let's quick get this fired up so I can show you how easy this is to turn on. So the first thing that you do is you open the lid. A quick press turns on the starter. You turn it down to low, which is 160 degrees is the lowest this will go. And it's going to come in handy on one of our first cooks, where we're going to make the quintessential camping food in this smoker. One of the other nice features of the smoker is it does have an area on the back to wind the cord up and keep the cord. That's something that not all of them do. And as you can see, we've already got smoke coming out of this. We've probably been less than a minute and it's already started and fired up the pellets. So very quick and easy to get started. And what they say is once you see the smoke, you can go ahead, give it another push, turn it up to your temperature that you want. And I'm just going to turn it up to 250. Close the lid and let this come up to temp. Now, so while this grill's coming up to temp, let me tell you about this deal where you pay more today than you would if you just bought the grill. And let me back up. If you were just to buy this grill today, you would pay between $550 and $600. I'm not sure what the exact number is, plus shipping. If you participate in their promotion, you would buy this grill and you would pay $777 plus shipping. That doesn't sound like a deal, does it? But here's the rest of the promotion. If you participate in this promotion, Z Grills will send you a new grill every 5 years for the next 50 years. That means that you're buying one grill for $777, which in the scheme of things does not make this a real expensive pellet grill. And you're getting 10 more for free. You're getting 11 grills for that $777. All you need to do every 5 years is pay the shipping. And if you do the math on that, including shipping, you're paying roughly $38 per year for the pellet grill. That, in my mind, is a crazy good bargain. Are there risks? Of course there's risks. If Z Grills goes out of business in 20 years, you've only gotten 5 grills and the price per grill goes up. But if you think about it, 5 grills for $777 is still a pretty darn good deal. Now, Z Grills, as I said, has been in business for 30 years. A few years ago, they did a promotion when they were starting to build their brand and their reputation, and they offered If you bought a grill, in 5 years, they would reimburse you the entire sales price. And they did. Everybody that bought the grill got all their money back. So these guys have a track record of doing what they say. You may ask yourself, why is Z Grills doing this deal? My opinion is because they don't come out and say, here's why we're doing it. My opinion is that Z Grills is doing two things. One, they're building customer loyalty. If you buy this Z Grill today and you get 10 more, well, you're using Z Grills for 50 years. They now have you and your family as customers for the next 50 years. And that is something that any company would love. Number two, they've probably calculated it's a cheaper way for them to get cash flow, to keep their business going, to invest in new technologies, that sort of thing. It's probably cheaper to do this than it is to go to the bank or any other way to get cash. So for me, it's a win for me, and it should be a win for Z Grills as well. And I think that they are creative in that regard. Now, the other question you might have is, like, I'm 63. I'm not going to be here in 50 years to get my grill. Well, that doesn't matter, because the other beauty of this program is if you buy the grill today, you can choose who gets the next grill. You don't have to take it. If you want to give it to your father-in-law, send it to your father-in-law. If you pass away and your kids want the grill, no sweat. Your kids get the grill. There's no questions. Now, Z Grills isn't paying me to do this, right? I'm not getting a new grill every 5 years for the next 50 years. I just think this is a stellar deal that if you're in the market and you're looking for a pellet grill, you really should check this out. You really should check out the brand Z Grills, because I think they've done something really, really creative here. And I think it's something that if you're in the market, it's well worth checking out. So check out Z Grills. I'm going to put a link below, make it easy, take you right to the site. So check that link out. And over the next few videos, we're going to do some cooking in this just to make sure that we like the way it cooks. Stay tuned for those videos. We're going to do some cooking that makes this grill camper friendly. We're going to take one of our favorite camping foods and we're going to make it in this grill to see how it works. And then we're going to try some other recipes just to give it a bit of a test. So anyway, Z Grills, this is the 10502B. They do have other models, so you don't have to take this one. If you like a different one, you can choose which one you want. That's part of the promotion. But check it out, because I'm not sure how long this is going to last. So I hope you enjoyed hearing about the grill. It is a diversion from our normal content, I know. But if you do like this content, please take a moment to hit that sub button in the lower right-hand corner. Give us that thumbs up and share this with your like-minded friends. And as always, take care, and we'll see you outdoors.